Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. I'm Lillian with Stamper's Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada, where it is definitely a blustery day today. Feels a bit more like winter's on its way, that's for sure. So today's date is October the 21st, 2025. So it is hard to believe it's the last week of last week of October. So this week has Halloween in it, and then we change our clocks on the weekend. So it is a fun night though, the weekend, because I look forward to that because we get an extra hour of sleep. So that's always good. So what are you looking forward to this week? Maybe you could share that. Maybe you've got grandchildren that are trick-or-treating, or maybe you've got a little trip planned, or maybe you're just going to be cozy and read a book and have some crafting. Make sure you say hi and tell us what you're looking forward to this last week of October. And we'll go right down to my desktop so we can get started tonight. So yay, I can see Fran is here, and I'm sure there are other people going to say hi in a moment. And if you're watching the replay, because I know that this is a night where the Blue Jays are playing and there's all kinds of good things going on. So if you're watching the replay, do say hi as well. That I would really appreciate that. So just getting my computer up, making sure so I can see your comments, and looks like that's all good to go. So that's great as well. So just as people are hopping on, I wanted to share a couple of cards I received in the mail this week. This one is from Kim from Minnesota, and she sent this to me, and I just love how she's used the black silhouette on this gorgeous designer paper. And it's truly just because of our crafting community here on Facebook and Facebook Lives and that kind of thing, that I've met people like Kim, so people from around the world. Another card I've received is from one of my downline, and this one here, I love how she's used little strips of paper to make this design in the background. So isn't it fun to just get happy mail and get that card in the mail? How many of you either received, you could put received in the comments, happy mail this week, or you sent happy mail? So you could put sent, or you could put received, or maybe it's both. And then I received this gorgeous one. You know me and my leaves, I do love them. And this one was from Pam, so I love this. And this is designer paper in the background that she's just stamped right on top of. Just a little a tidbit for you to file away. There's a new stamp coming that will give this look as well, but I'll talk more about that at a later time. So those are some of the things I received in the mail this week. So I also received look at this, the Advent calendar. So the Advent calendar comes in this great box. I'm going to open it and show it to you in a minute, but it also comes with this stamp set. So tons of real perfect assortment of greetings. And then we've also got these stamps here. And this stamp set coordinates with everything that's in the little windows. So look at this. We've got the words, and then we've got the stamps. So it's double-barreled, I call it, and it's photopolymer, so you can use it so easily. And then when you open up the Advent kit, and has anyone, yes, so nice that, I agree, so nice that Canada Post is moving mail again. It's been a delight to go to the mailbox again. And then when we open, this is so big, we open this up, and in here you can see all the little windows, and I haven't opened mine yet, but I have watched other people open theirs, and everything works together, and it's all occasion. It's not Christmas related, so it's something that works together with this stamp set. There are things like designer paper that works with it. There there's not just one, but two doors have dies behind them. And I'm not going to tell you the rest, but I know that this is flying off the shelves because you're seeing advent calendars for absolutely everything under the sun, bath bombs, and everything else. This is a crafter's delight one. So it is called Make This Season Bright, and it's only available while supplies last. So it's $136, but I know that the value of it is way, way, way more. So I should have written this big, so I'm sorry. The order number is 167335. So if that's something you're interested in, enter that and have a closer look at it online. So in some of the markets, it has sold out. We still have some in North America, but they're going quickly. So if it's something you want, make sure that you take a look at it and maybe treat yourself to a little gift. So the other thing that is ending this week, and I really, really want to draw your attention to, is the starter kit offer. It's the best offer that has ever been offered. And I had a class the other day and the lady said, well, is it for real? Can you really get $165 worth of product for $48 or $252 for $135? And it can be whatever you want. And I said, yes. And they said, well, what's the catch? And I said, there isn't one. You can join for that. If you never want to buy another thing, that's okay. Or you might want to be a happy shopper and enjoy the discount that you get as being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Or you might want to turn it into a little business. There is no commitment. There's no penalty for joining. If you've been a demonstrator before, a lot are signing up again. So there's just no catch. So if you've got a few things on your wish list, they'll easily come to more than $48. So go ahead and join. So you can join by going to my website or going right here or here. So, but just go to my website even and click join now, and you will see how that all comes together. And then last but not least, what I wanted to talk about is a new class that I'm offering. It is called Quick and Easy Christmas Card Class. It's a class to go. So when you get your class kit, you will receive, let me just go down a little bit. You will receive half a package of these memories and more cards. So these work like, sort of like chunks of designer paper. They're two-sided and they work beautifully to make quick and easy cards, scrapbook pages, whatever. So there's all kinds. So this is half a package here. So there's tons there. You will also receive half a package of the assorted memories and more cards and envelopes. So these are, you'll end up getting 5 of the large cards and 5 of the smaller cards. So those are the 2 there. And you get the coordinating envelopes that go with them. So they're already cut and scored for you. Now look at this. They are sized so that you could just put one of these on top and it's framed beautifully. The same for the larger ones. Just put one on top and it's framed beautifully. So in this class, we are going to combine these 2 products, the Memories and More cards and the envelopes, cards and envelopes, where you'll also receive half a package of these. I've shown these to you before. They are just fabulous. They are actually stickers, but you can work them for anything. They're the Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. They're in the mini catalog. So you'll get half a package of those. So it's one of each sheet. You will also receive half a package of the Tinsel Sparkle Gems. Now these aren't available right now, but I have extras. So you will receive half a package. These are sequins. They're nice and flat and they are gorgeous. I'm using them on everything lately. And you will also receive 1 yard each of the old olive linen thread and the early espresso linen thread. And as you can see, they go with this just beautifully. So that is the Quick and Easy Christmas Cards class to go. The kits, I have very limited in the number of kits I have. And of course, the kits can only be are only available in Canada, but the PDF is available worldwide. So make sure you check that out as well. Now, that being said, let's look at, whoops, I just dropped something, and it's something I want to show you, but I'll get it in a minute. I want to tonight talk, just share with you a whole suite of products. It's called the Elegant Pine Snowflake Suite. So I have used quite a bit of it. So I just have scraps of the designer paper to show you. So I'm going to show you the back side first, or what we often call the back side. I absolutely love this effect. So there's this, and there's this, and this, and then this one, which is the same effect as this, but that, and then this, and then this. So the coordinating colors, I'll flip it over in a moment, but the coordinating colors are Cherry Cobbler, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, Secret Sea, and Shaded Spruce. And you can see how those colors go beautifully there. And then if you flip it over, I'm just going to move these. If you flip it over on this side, you find yourself with snowflakes and made out of pine branches, and then all different pine kind of related pictures and that kind of thing. So we've got these with the white background, and then we've got these with the black background, and simply gorgeous. And again, as you see the coordinating colors with it, you can see how they come together. So where do you find this and all the coordinating ones? Well, if you go to my online store, you will see this is an online exclusive product. So there's a whole suite of products. So here's the suite here, and then you see there's the designer paper, there is the stamp set, the dies, and then there's ribbon and gems and all kinds of other things. So if you, in your search engine, put Elegant Pines or Delicate Pines, it's going to pop up. Or even put snowflakes in and it will pop up. And one of the neat things about it is, yes, there is the bundle, which we will be using tonight. So it's the Delicate Pines bundle. But there's these dies, they are real workhorses, I would want to say. They cut out all of the open ones. They cut out all kinds of things. So let me just go here. Look at, it cuts out that there. Or here's another open one, and it cuts out. Now I have to go on a bit of a hunt. But all of these open ones, they cut out things from the paper. So I did that on my Get Acquainted sheet. I not only showed you the dies that are kind of standalone, the dies that go with the stamps, but then these are the dies, some of the dies that go with the designer paper here, just like that. So one of the things I did was, one of the things I did was misplace what I was just going to show you. That's because I just dropped it on the floor. So let me just pick it up. So one of the things I did was I cut out one of the snowflakes and then mounted it on the ornament from the, is it Delicate Ornaments or Modern Ornaments? Modern Christmas, I think. And then this was a card we did in a recent class, but look at, we could put this here, we could add that bow, and we could add the sentiment, and we would be good to go with a card. So isn't that pretty how that looks? Really like that. So that was just something that I wanted to share with you. So that's the dies, and that's the paper, and that's the stamps, and we're going to get started here. So I'm going to put this aside so I don't lose anything, and we're going to do a Step It Up card project tonight. So we're going to start with a very simple card and then gradually step it up. All right. Maggie, good point. A good one to make snowflakes. That is so right. So one of the cards I made at a recent class, I made in Night of Navy, and we're going to recreate it in Blackberry Bliss. So don't think of Blackberry Bliss and snowflakes too often. We don't think of pine branches and snowflakes too often, but I really have fallen in love with this suite. So this is a half sheet of cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4, and that's the card base. We're going to put that to the side, and then we're going to bring in a layer that's 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to stamp with Versamark on here and just make a simple little card. Once you do the embossing, it always looks good, doesn't it? So we're going to do some gold embossing on here, but it's a dark paper, so I'm going to make sure to really use my embossing buddy so that we don't end up with flakes where we don't want it. So I'm using Versamark, which is a water-based ink, watermark ink, not water-based. So it just turns everything a shade darker, but it's also a sticky ink, so it's going to hold the powder. And I better concentrate here and get this somewhat in the middle. There we go. And remember, you put your pressure where the stamp is. You don't put your pressure on the edges. There we go. So now you can see that it's there, but we're going to bring in the embossing powder. And I'm just going to rest it in here because that powder gets everywhere sometimes. And we'll sprinkle the embossing powder on and shake the excess off. It was so fun this last week. One of the ladies in one of my classes had never stamped before. She was brand new. And so she got to do heat embossing, and it was pretty exciting. She was pretty excited. In fact, she was so excited after the class was over, she signed up to be a demonstrator because she knew she wanted a lot of stuff. So that was really neat. So I'm just heating up my heat tool, and I'm going to heat that powder, and it's going to melt and go all shiny. I don't know who thought of making snowflakes out of pine branches, but I think it's just so unique and effective. I really like it. And then when you do heat embossing, it looks rather elegant too. So you've got that. So now we've got that like that, and I'm just going to, it's cool now, I'm going to wipe that excess powder off on my jeans. Should have had a paper towel here, but I don't. So here we've got the basic card. We could layer it on here like that, and then bring in some words. So I took Celebrate the Season, that's from the stamp set, and stamped it on there, and we've got a really lovely card. We could add a few embellishments, but let's step it up. Whoops, actually, I forgot that. I was just going to bring in the stickers from that ephemera pack and go like that. But let's step it up just a little bit. Let's bring in some gold and layer a bit of gold underneath. And look at how that changes. All just like that, just that one little layer, and you've got, it just adds a little bit more. Now I wanted to stop here and just share with you, I don't like to waste this paper, especially when it's something like the gold foil. To me, that's really special paper. So I wanted to just show you, I know that I am not going to use any part of this except the edges, and nobody's going to know that I have taken pieces out of the middle. So let's do one together. So we're going to bring the dies back in. and we're going to use this one here. Now, if you use your dies and you find especially intricate dies are really sticking in, and it's really hard to get them to release the die cut, for a couple of tries, put wax paper between the cardstock and the die and run it through that way, and it will sort of lubricate it. You know how when you're making a cake, not that I make many anymore, you maybe add some oil or something to the pan, some butter to the pan so it releases. This is doing the same thing. So let's just put that over there. And the other thing that is perfect when you have an intricate die like this is to use the die brush. So it's an attachment that fits on your Take Your Pick tool, and we're just going to go like this, and it comes with this sponge, and you go like this. I keep mine in this container, which, believe it or not, used to be what our stamps came in, these huge containers. Now we've got our CD cases, and coming soon it's going to be even smaller. So then I'm using this part. This is another attachment for the Take Your Pick tool, and going like that and gently pulling it out, taking that wax paper layer off, and just like that, it comes out much easier. Then if this has all got little bits on it, sometimes I don't like to use intricate dies because of all the little bits, but if you take a lint brush, it picks them up just like magic, and it's all good. So those are just a few tips for those intricate dies, as well as a way to save a little space and save a little of your specialty paper. Okay, so enough chit-chatting. So what we can do now is we can put this together and put this on here like that. And we've still got our words here. And then we could add our embellishments. So we've stepped it up a bit. Now, let's step it up a little bit more. And when I'm doing this, I am seeing that I need to heat that. So there's right in here, it is not... the powder is still powdery looking. I just happen to have another one done, so I'm going to bring it in and switch it out, and I will heat that up later. That'll work just fine. What if I wanted to step this up once more? And I want to step it up with an embossing folder. So I tuck it in, and look at that. This is the wreath embossing folder, and the snowflake kind of fits in the center. And so just like that, we have this kind of interesting thing going on. So I do want to remind you, because I've had a few people ask me this week, remind you that when you use your 3D embossing folders, do make sure you have the specialty plate. It's only like $15. It's plate number 4, and it makes all the difference in getting a good impression. So there we have stepped it up one more step. So now we could put this on here like that, and we could add, then we could have our choice of greetings. We could have this, or we could go like that. How many are liking this already? When I was designing the card for the class, these are the steps I went through, and I thought, oh, this would be fun to share. Now, there's another way of stepping it up yet. So you could stamp your snowflake on some scrap paper. Then you could bring in the die and cut it out just like that. And then let's go to where we're going to go with that. So I've got now the embossed piece fastened to the gold. I've got it on dimensionals, and inside I have the piece die cut out. I have this piece that we were doing, and I've got the words stamped. So let's put these together. So the goal now is to put this on dimensionals here, and this is going to go here, but we're going to use this to add a little bit more interest. We're going to put it behind and have it look like that. What do you think? You think we're going in the right direction? I'm just going to move this out of the way here. So let's get started on that and see. So this is going to go here. So every one of these cards has been fine. It's just, you can step it up or you can step it down. It's your choice. That's the joy of card making, isn't it? So we're going to put that there. And then we've got Celebrate the Season. And this die was from the butterfly set. So I just looked around till I found a die that fit the words. So I'm going to put a glue dot right in the center here. And just pick it up like that. And then I'm going to put this on top. Now these do bend, so you kind of want to be a little bit mindful of that. And actually, sometimes my fingers get in the way and I can't see, so I'm just going to use my tweezers and gently rest it down. It could go a bit, oh, and somebody just had their wreath embossing folder arrive today. Oh, you lucky person, you're going to have fun. It is fabulous. There, so we've added interest behind there. Now I'm going to turn it over and put dimensionals here, and that will help hold these in place. So let's just bring in our dimensionals. And we'll make sure that's straight and put a dimensional there to hold it in place. And the same with this one. We found during the class they did like to move on us if we weren't careful. So there we go. And I think I'll bring in a couple more just for a bit of stability. Likely didn't have to, but it's just fun. Bring in my little tray. Now, how many of you have your Christmas cards started? I know at least one of you on here, because I know her, she's likely got hers done. She likely had them done in the summer. But how many of you have got them started or done, or you're just thinking about it? Now I'm going to tuck that under just to kind of pulls everything together. And there we have it. Just like that. And now we'll bring in some embellishments. And like I said, these are a favorite, the traditional sparkling sequins. I am just loving these. And of course, we're going to use gold on this one. But you can see how they just sparkle. So let's put, oh, we can put one in the middle perhaps. And then there are 3 sizes, so that's the biggest, and here's the next biggest, and then the smallest one. So we've got it like that, and then we need the inside, of course, too. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to bring some Blackberry Bliss in. Oh, I like how that looks in Blackberry Bliss. Really happy with that. So I'm going to bring one of the other snowflakes in, and I'm going to bring some scrap paper. And I wrote a little, I'm going to stamp it off 3 times. I made myself a note because sometimes I forget. So I've got some scrap paper here. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to stamp it on here. So it's going to be pretty light. Just like that. And then I am going to bring in my words. And these say, it's the most magical time of the year. And I'm going to go right through the center here, like that. Do this up because Blackberry Bliss can get on things and then fasten it inside just like I did. And there you have it. The just super, super card there, I think. I really, really like it. So the class, we made it the same card in Night of Navy. So here's a question. Are you a Blackberry Bliss fan or a Night of Navy fan? So you can jot that in the comments as I'm getting ready to show you a few other things. So as you notice, when I cut this out, you can have a whole bunch of these, and you can take these and layer them together and make a snowflake. Isn't that brilliant? Just like that. So they are also have the smaller dies as well. So here I have made it in 2 sizes. I've made the snowflake in 2 sizes. Whoops, I lost one already. They keep floating away. They are like snowflakes. They're light and airy. And you can put them together too and start to layer them. So I think that is just a fun technique. So I'm saying some people like both colors. Is there another color that you would try it in? How about, what would it look like in Pretty Peacock, eh? I think that would look really nice. Or Secret Sea. I like that too. So let's just share a few more ideas using this bundle. I used it as arms on this little snowman. I used the smaller dies. Oh, come on here. They're all stuck together. I used these for the arms on this little snowman for the treats for some of my ladies in certain classes. On this card here, I used one of the smaller stamps and did that and used the paper to do the background, just like that. Now this is the exact same card, but I did a vellum snowflake here. And some of you are going, vellum? Lillian, what are you talking about? Vellum? Well, guess what? Guess what's coming in November? Just saying, you might want to keep your eyes open. There's some of that. And then this was another card we made in the class recently, and this is using the paper and then the stamp set that we used last week. So with the floating arch die. So the paper and the stamp sets, they're fabulous. They go together so well. I should put that so you can see it. There you go. And this is one that I received in a swap, which is likely what sold me on this stamp set. I was on the fence, but look at this. Just so simple. And I can see using these pine branches for all during the year. They would make great masculine cards or other birthday cards, sympathy cards even. I think there's all kinds of potential there. So not just for winter. So I think that is something that you might want to take a look at. I'm just looking around, but I can't see what it is I'm looking for. So anyway, we have chatted long enough. But do remember, this is the last week to take advantage of that fabulous join offer. You're really going to want to take advantage of that if you have anything on your list. But take another look at this here and just think of all the things that you could do with the snowflake that has pine branches on it. And let's take a look one more time at my Get Acquainted sheet, because I think that it could be a little bit mind-blowing even. Like, I love this here. And look at the pine cone here. You can layer that for even more texture. Look at the holly berries. You could layer them. But, you know, and you've got these. And it's just endless what you can do with it. And, of course, if you look at some of these things through a different eyes or in a different light, you might see, like I see airplane propellers here or something like that. So you might see something totally different once you take a good look. But there you have it, the Elegant Pines Suite or the Delicate Pines Bundle, whichever. So hope that you enjoyed that. and that you're inspired. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.